Good morning. On behalf of the City of Suffolk, I would like to welcome everyone to today's Constance Wharf Canoe and Kayak launch grand opening. This is a special day, and fittingly, we have a number of special guests joining us. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize, of course, our Mayor, Linda T. Johnson, our Vice Mayor, Leroy Bennett, Councilman Mike Duman, Councilman Roger Fawcett, Councilman Don Goldberg, Councilman Tim Johnson, Councilman Curtis Miltier Sr., Councilman Lou Ward, our City Manager, Patrick Roberts, Deputy City Manager, Scott Mills, our Chief of Staff, Debbie George, our Police Chief, Thomas Bennett, Major E.C. Harris from the Suffolk Sheriff's Office, members of the Parks and Recreation Commission, as well as members of the Nansemond River Preservation Alliance, the Suffolk River Heritage, and any other federal, state, and local elected and appointed officials, city administration, and city staff. Once again, thank you everyone for joining us. Please join me now in welcoming to the podium our City Manager, Patrick Roberts.
Thank you, Diana. Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members, everyone else present, we really appreciate you attending today. I want to begin by thanking the Mayor and the City Council for making this project today and this type of amenity a priority, not only in all of our governing policies, but in the overarching vision for the city. City Council several months ago set aside a vision and set out that we would have access to waterways and that we would have healthy waterways and trails all over the land and waterways throughout the city, and that we would be a beacon for vibrancy and health and the environmental stewardship that's become what Suffolk has become to be known for. I want to start also by thanking Suffolk River Heritage, the Nansemond River Preservation Alliance, as well as the National Park Service, without which we could not have made this and other projects possible. This is a confluence of state, federal, and local support, as well as a tremendous amount of support of volunteers and stewards of the environment. I want to thank you all. I hope that you will all take advantage of this amenity and help us identify future opportunities for this such amenity in the city so that we can invite people to enjoy the city's greatest natural resource, which is the Nansemond River. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. We'll now hear from our Mayor, the Honorable Linda T. Johnson.
Good morning. What a glorious fall day this is, and what a day to open a new kayak and canoe launch. Without a doubt, every month, every season, every day in the city of Suffolk, we have so much to celebrate. We have such a diverse city, and we've got so many things here that just can grow and be better and better. While all the ribbon cuttings and grand openings that we do, they're all worth celebrating, and they're all wonderful, but this one has special meaning. And I say that because of the Nansemond River. I don't know if some of you heard me the other day, but I grew up on the Nansemond River. I was 12 years old when I moved here, and my parents were fortunate enough to find property on the Nansemond River. My father was working in Newport News, and as we came over the bridge, it was just everybody knew that's where we wanted to be, and that's why. It was the Nansemond River that brought us here. And some of my best memories are on this river and on these shores, and all the things that we did there will always be ingrained in my mind. And so today we're doing this for citizens across the city, because as we open more and more access to this river, more and more people will have those fond memories that I'm talking about. And it's just such a beautiful part of Suffolk and of the heritage that we have. It's a natural gift that just keeps on giving. And the more we do for it, and the more we do for the health of it, and I will join Pat in thanking everyone here that has anything to do with preserving and keeping our river and making it better every single day. It is truly a part of our city of recreation, and when we talk about recreation, we talk about all types of recreation. This is our second launch, joining the Sleepy Hole Park Fishing Pier and Kayak launch, which opened earlier this spring. We look forward to more and more ways of getting toward our river. Whatever the choice, whether we're communing with nature, whether we're enjoying a class is happening at Bennett's Creek Park this morning. There's a lot going on over there, which you'll probably hear a little more about. Engaging our fellow citizens, engaging our young people to make sure they understand not only the beauty of having the river and being able to enjoy it, but the stewardship, what we owe back to it. It's such a big part of who we are. But even if somebody's out there just working out in a gym today, I just want you to know that We have a multitude of recreational opportunities coming in the city. We're getting better and better, and we will continue to do our best job to make sure our citizens are out in nature, are healthy, are moving in the right direction, because we know if you don't feel good, the rest of life just isn't too good. So this is really a special, special time. In closing, I want to share a quote with you that recently I came across, and it's just perfect for this occasion because it's called Advice from a River. Go with the flow. Immerse yourself in nature. Slow down and meander. Go around the obstacles. Be thoughtful of those downstream. Stay current. And always remember, the beauty is in the journey. I look forward to cutting that ribbon and so we can be out there this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll now hear from our Director of Parks and Recreation, Lakita Watson.
Good morning. I would like to take this opportunity to thank City Administration and City Council for their constant support of recreation, leisure, health, and wellness for the City of Suffolk. This project will provide an opportunity for additional access to the Nansemond River, allowing our citizens to canoe and kayak along this beautiful historic site. When we think of reasons to canoe and kayak, we often think of recreation. In addition to these motivations, the process of paddling also offers some serious fitness benefits that will contribute to a stronger and healthier you. I would like to also take this chance to thank Michael Kelly, the principal planner who served as the project manager for this project, and Gary Jones, the director of capital buildings and programs, and of course the Parks and Recreation team that will maintain and keep this as a part of our precious amenities in Suffolk. This project marks the fourth ribbon cutting in just a year for Parks and Recreation. I appreciate this opportunity to be a part of a committed team that values recreation and parks that will enhance the quality of life for all of our citizens. Again, thank you all for joining us this morning, and I look forward to opening additional projects to come.
I would now ask for our mayor, our members of City Council, the members of the Nansemond River Preservation Alliance, and the Suffolk River Heritage to join us for our official ribbon cutting. But grab a paddle on your way over, please, for a photo opportunity as well. And we will be making additional remarks after this. Citizens enter the launch in the future, they'll be welcomed by special signage, which we'll officially unveil at the end of our ceremony. Here to share their thoughts on the dedication of the sign is John Wass of the Nansemond River Preservation Alliance.
Good morning. I'm the Public Access Chair with the Nansemond River Preservation Alliance, and we've been working this for a long time, and we're really happy to be here. Just a few notes that I would like to give you. We have alliance in our name, National Preservation Alliance, because we want to form alliances with citizen groups, local, state, and federal governments, this is a perfect example. This project, the Suffolk Water Trail and the Canoe Kayak launch is this perfect example. The opening of this new facility represents a strong partnership among many supported parties, including the City of Suffolk, the Commonwealth of Virginia through the Department of Conservation and Recreation, the Nansemond River Preservation Alliance, Suffolk River Heritage, and the National Park Service, who has management responsibility for the Captain John Smith Historic Trail, which is a series of water routes extending approximately 3,000 miles along the Chesapeake Bay and its tributaries, and now we're part of that. The ongoing goal is twofold: to increase access to the Nansemond River, Chucktuck Creek, and tributary streams for non-motorized boating and recreational pursuits, to generate public awareness of the historical and environmental significance of Suffolk waterways. The whole process started in 2008 when Suffolk River Heritage opened a discussion with Suffolk's Tourism Department 8 years ago about the possibility of building public access to the Nansemond River and exploring the value of the Captain John Smith Historical Trail for tourism in the city. A couple of years later, the Nansemond River Preservation Alliance was established, and together the two organizations began to explore options for expanding water access and promoting the river's heritage also. So, 2.5 years ago, the Suffolk Water Trail officially became member of the Captain John Smith National Trail, abbreviated called CAJO sometimes, Captain John Smith, with the dedication of the first interpretive kiosk, which you'll see the third one coming up here. The first one was at Bennett Creek Park 2.5 years ago. Last April, we dedicated the second interpretive kiosk at the new kayak launch, canoe launch at Sleepy Hole Park. Today, we're dedicating the new launch here at Constance Wharf. And we have the third interpreter kiosk, which we'll unveil in a little bit. There are now 2 new kayak and canoe launches directly on the Nansemond River, which is great. As you look at the CAJO interpretive kiosk, when we unveil it, you'll notice there are 3 panels. 2 are about Captain John Smith and the National Trail Network. The third panel on all the kiosks throughout the Chesapeake Bay area is locally designed panel of historical significance. Carla and I, with the help and guidance of the National Park Service, designed and were guided and designed the local panel. Carla even drew the map. You'll see that when we unveil it. We had Christine Lucero's here today helping us with the National Park Service, and John Davey, who's also standing in the back with the National Park Service, representing many meetings to get those things straight. We look forward to continuing to work with our alliances and opening more public access on Suffolk's tidal rivers and creeks. Without that strong participants, I have competition. Never fails, right? Without these strong partnerships and public support, the development and expansion of the support facilities for the Suffolk Water Trail could not occur. All project participants are to be congratulated on this beautiful effort that we've put forth. It's a fitting year. The National Park Service is 100 years old this year, lots of celebrations going around, and the Captain John Smith Trail is 10 years old this year. So we are right at the forefront. Visit our table. When you're finished behind the kiosk, we have some maps, 3 different maps available about the Captain John Smith Historical Trail and the Suffolk River Water Trail that we have. And finally, and please take 1 per family. Finally, plan your adventure. Got maps to do it with. Get outdoors, get out on the water, view the Nansemond River from your boat, and try to imagine how Captain John Smith saw the shoreline maybe 400 years ago. It's changed a little, but some places it hasn't. Learn all you can about our local rivers, the historical and ecological treasures that we have right here. Learn how to preserve and protect them for future generations of Suffolk citizens. Now I'd like to introduce Carla Smith with Suffolk River Heritage, who is another great partner in this. We worked with Suffolk River Heritage to try to get the funding for the kiosks. So that's great. Come on up.
So being a retired teacher, I always have to bring show and tell. So this is my show and tell. I have a very brief story about it. I will use one. I just have to get to it. So I was a Girl Scout leader in Crittenden. And before that, I was a camp counselor at Camp Matoika on the Western Branch, Lake Prince. And it was in 1963, before some of you were born, that I canoed every inch of the Nansemond River. I began in 63, taking Girl Scouts from the far reaches of Lake Prince, porting dams, all the way to the mouth of the Nansemond River, into Crittenden and Eclipse. And over the next 10 or 15 years, we took lots of separate journeys down all of those rivers and lakes, and it was incredible. And when I had a Girl Scout troop in the 80s, we decided it would be a good plan to make a canoe trail and make a brochure that would show people where you could put your canoe over. So we worked with the city of Norfolk, the city of Portsmouth, and the city of Suffolk to design a pamphlet and to mark the locations where you could have public access. That was 25 years ago. Chris Jones was mayor at the time, and we produced, the girls designed, and we produced the steel map that you see below you. And we put them at all the sites. And the closest site to downtown is just about where you're sitting, because there was a Fish and Wildlife boat ramp that went right behind the sewage treatment plant, and that was the downtown boat ramp. It was gravel, but it worked. And we canoed from here all over the city. So I don't know how many miles, it's not 3,000 that John Smith put on his boat, but the Girl Scouts over time have put every mile of the Nansemond and its tributaries, Bennett's Creek, Hoffler's Creek, and Knott's Creek, under their paddles and have been on the river. So in 2006, when I heard that there was going to be a Captain John Smith Trail, I went to some of the very beginning meetings in Yorktown where I met Christine and some other National Park Service. And I looked at their plan and it didn't have Nansemond on it. And I said, we've got to be on the John Smith Trail because I know he came up this river. So that was when we worked. That was 10 years ago. And I worked with the Park Service, and we later worked with Nansemond River Preservation Alliance. It hadn't been born yet. And we said, we are going to put the Nansemond River on the Captain John Smith Trail. And I said, we are going to increase public access on that trail so more people in Suffolk, just beyond my Girl Scout troop, can paddle and sail and do whatever they can on all of the rivers. So that's my history lesson. So, 1963, 1965, 1988, we had signage in 88 all over the city. It kind of shrunk away as development took over some of those spaces. So I am so thankful for the city in its wisdom to open up more public access again for just the everyday people. If you go and look at Sleepy Hollow Park, that dock is filled with fishermen, people who could not get in the river before. If you go to Bennett's Creek Park, you have people from North Carolina putting their boats overboard because that's the closest boat ramp they can get to get into the Nansemond, even from Gates County and down that way. The whole city of Suffolk, the only public boat ramp is at Bennett's Creek Park. So as we increase our access to the water, we're going to increase the stewardship, as you mentioned. We're going to increase the interest in our recreational facilities. So we have a great history with opening up this river. After we decided we had to be a part of the John Smith Trail, our group rode for, and we were joined with Nansemond River Preservation Alliance to develop a map which would tell you about the history and the environment of the Nansemond River and the other Suffolk waters. And with a grant from the Virginia Foundation for the Humanities, a very nice grant, and grants from the National Park Service and their help, and our private donors out in our community, we did a big fundraiser. We were able to produce this map, which is in its second printing. We're going to have to run another printing, but we've distributed over 5,000 of these maps to the public free of charge. The cost to produce these maps is about $4.50 because they're on waterproof paper. All of that has been funded by grants, citizens, and the city has helped us out as well. So I'm really proud that we're opening this kiosk, but I'm looking down the road. It's been 10 years, we now have a kiosk. I'm looking down the road when we unveil the next kiosk and the next kiosk where we're serving the public, we're doing environmental and historical education. And that's really all I've got, or we'd be here till midnight because I don't stop. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you once again, everybody, for joining us for this most special occasion. Please make your way with us for the dedication of the Water Trail sign and stay with us there to enjoy some light refreshments. Thank you.